Am I wrong if I believe that my vote does not count because Hillary beat Trump by 3 million votes, but Trump is the president because of the Electoral College? And that makes me believe that the popular vote, my vote, does not count. What say you?
I say that your vote does actually count on two different levels. First of all, if you show up and vote, you're not just going to be voting for president. And there may be, in Vacaville, California, you may have some good progressive candidates. There may be issues on the ballots. There may be judges. I mean, typically there are really good reasons to vote outside of the president, number one. Number two, if Donald Trump loses the popular vote this time by 6 or 7 or 8 or 10 million votes, which would be your vote, votes that don't count in quotes with regard to the Electoral College, but are part of the popular vote, that will strengthen the argument that we are all making that it's time to do away with the Electoral College. We have not had a Republican president elected by the people since 1988, since George Herbert Walker Bush first ran for election after Reagan retired. And that was the last time a Republican president actually won a majority of votes and won the Electoral College. George W. Bush lost the popular vote by 500,000 votes, and his brothers and the Supreme Court stole the election for him in Florida. And Donald Trump lost the popular vote by 3 million votes. And, and frankly, I think there was some nefarious stuff going on in Ohio, Wisconsin, and Pennsylvania that handed the vote to Donald Trump. But I think that your vote does count, John, because it adds to that momentum. It adds to that wall of water that's going to wash over the Republican Party this fall. So I would encourage you strongly to show up and vote. John, thank you for the call. It's a thought-provoking question, and it's an important one. Paul in Lucerne, California. Hey, Paul, what's on your mind? Excuse me.
With all this talk about the post office being disrupted and all, which, by the way, is I've never heard anybody talk about those optical readers were just purchased about 4 years ago. The post office.
You mean the sorting machines?
Yeah, they did a study, and the optical readers were messing up. And people's remember about 5 years ago, your mail was kind of not showing up right.
I don't, but I'll take your word for it.
Well, it was happening.
Okay.
It might not have been happening in Oregon. It was just happening in certain areas.
Right.
But so what happened was they bought new machines. So this guy destroyed new machines. And these machines aren't just something you go, oh, I'm going to buy. No, you order them and they make them. They just don't leave them laying around.
Yeah, these are multi-million-dollar machines, and they're like, half a city block long. I mean, they're huge, or half a house length long. They're big.
Yes. And so what we got to do is, most states, you could drop your mail-in ballot off at your polling place. You'll be on a list at your polling place, okay? That'd be your mail-in ballot person or your in-person voter. You're on the list at the polling place. You drop your ballot off there. Or, if you don't have time to do that, you could drop your ballot off at your local Democratic Party, at your local registrar's office, your local Republican Party. Bypass the post office, drop your ballot off.
Yeah, I think a lot of people, what we're seeing in Virginia this morning, Paul, really indicates a lack of confidence in the post office. When you have 2-hour lines at the opening, typically in an area where on this date there would be 5 people showing up to vote. It's amazing.